Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be completing this soft glam look. That is Hafsa. She's one of my best friends and she's also a makeup artist, so I was a little nervous to do her makeup. This is my first time ever doing her makeup, but we jumped right in and it turned out beautiful. First step was I used a beauty oil to hydrate her skin, and now I'm going in with moisturizer and massaging it into her face. I also added on some hydration eye patches under her eyes as well off camera, and now we're jumping into brows. For brows, Hafsa has great brows already, so I just used powder to fill them in lightly, and she even was like, "Ooh, I like this color, what are you using?" So we were talking makeup, and the fun thing about this whole process was we got to talk about makeup and have girl talk at the same time and just exchange best practices, and it was a lot of fun. After filling in her brows, I did carve out underneath her brow with some concealer, and I also used eyeshadow primer as well, just on the eyelid. Blending it out with a brush, and I did set the eyeshadow primer and concealer with powder before going in with this deep brown shade on the eyelid. Now I am packing that on the eyelid because we are going to do that smoky, so I'm just packing it on the eyelid and blending upward. And even though we are doing a brown smoky eye, I did add a little bit of shimmer just to make the eye pop and have dimension as well, so I'm popping that on top of the eyelid. And essentially for this eyeshadow look, I go back and forth between the steps of blending with that brown eyeshadow and packing on more shimmer just to create more dimension and just make sure everything is seamless. And now a moment for the eye patches. After removing the eye patches, I just go in with the makeup wipe to cleanse under the eye. A cool hack that I learned from Hafsa was actually, instead of taking a makeup wipe to remove the excess eyeshadow from under your eyes, you can actually use moisturizer. So now we're going in with the Montserrat Makeup Foundation, and I am mixing in Estee Lauder as well just to create her perfect shade. As you can see, it looks like I'm painting her entire body, painting her neck, her face, her ears. I do typically do that just to keep the look cohesive, especially if someone wants to be a little bit lighter or more tan. It just helps everything look seamless. Also, that technique helps with if someone gets excited or cries or has any extreme emotion. Sometimes people's ears or chest turn red, so it just helps with that as well. And I just continue to pat, not swipe the foundation on with a makeup brush. Work the camera, girl. Work it. As you guys can see, as a makeup artist, I do mix a lot of different shades. It's rare that I just use one foundation or one concealer. I do like to mix and match. I feel like most artists mix and match different brands, different shades, just to really customize the look. To conceal under her eyes and the high points of her face, I use Juvia's Place and the L'Oreal Infallible Concealers. Now for the contour, I am mixing the L'Oreal and Juvia's Place again to create that snatched look. And I'm placing it on the usual spots on her cheekbones, which she has great cheekbones, on her jawline. Of course, it'll be on her forehead and her nose as well. after blending with the same brush, I actually want to go back in with the foundation brush to really blend everything together, and it will have a little bit of product left on there, but it'll help create the illusion of not having any more harsh lines. Now, reminder, not everybody needs contour on their forehead and on their jawline. Of course, this is going to minimize the look of whatever you're putting it on, so whether it's your forehead or sharpen the jaw, not everybody needs that look, so you do have to customize it depending on their face shape. Now I'm actually going to go in with blush, a cream blush, which is actually lipstick. So it's by Montserrat Makeup. Again, the product names will be listed below, but this is one of my favorite blushes. I feel like when I need a bomb makeup look, I reached for this for a majority of my clients. It just looks so pretty on the skin, and if I want like really blended, everything is very cohesive look, I can also pop that on the lips as well. So now that her face is looking nice and glowy, I'm going to go in and have her look up and blend out the concealer again and powder. So with this step, you definitely want to continue to look up, because as soon as you look down, those creases will come back, and you don't want to set the creases with powder because it will stay that way. All over the high points of her face, I am using the Sephora baked powders. I'm using this on her chin, above her lip, under her eyes, and of course carving out that contour with the same color as well. Now going in with a warmer tone brown just to emphasize that bronzy look. I am putting that on the same points that we put the contour, just to bring some warmth back into her face. The bronzer powder is actually a foundation powder that is from the Sephora baked powders. Now this is one of my favorite steps. So I like to use matte products when I'm doing makeup because the longevity is better, but then you go back in with this powder and it has a little bit of a reflectant, so it gives you that glow back. So as you can see, she is glowing again. I'm using the lighter shades under her eyes and everywhere that I didn't put bronzer. And I'm going to go back in with the darker shade to go back over the bronzer again, just to give her skin that glow. And now I'm going in and mixing this peach and pink blush. They are baked from Milani. So as you can see, I really like the baked formulas. I feel like they look the most like skin and give you that glowy, but still being reliable since they're powder. So that way the skin can stay matte and it doesn't move around, or you don't look greasy by the end of the day. Now it's time for highlight, and I just swirled the brush throughout the whole palette, and I'm using that on her high points, so on the top of her cheekbones, of course on her nose, a little above the lip, and I also did a little bit under her eyebrow as well. Now, as you can see, we were goofing off. We did the lips with actually an eyeliner. That's a brown eyeliner, but I love using it. It has a great longevity. It's just a brown eyeliner from the beauty supply store. So I lined her lip, and I did overline just a little bit, and now I'm using a cream lipstick, and I am going to just blend that out with the liner just to have everything be smooth, and I'm using a little bit of lip gloss to stack on top. She's looking good. Now I'm using that same medium tone brown eyeshadow we used in the beginning and smoking that on her lash line. And now I'm actually going to use a deep purple eyeliner in her waterline. And do you see how that just made her eyes pop? That really set off the look. Now that took the eye look to the next level and really give that sultry look. And now I'm just adding on some mascara to her bottom lashes. And I didn't do mascara at the top because she does have lash extensions. So I did want to add a little bit more dimension on the top of her eye as well. So I'm going in with small angle brush to pack on a deep brown eyeshadow to line her eyes. Of course, I want to be mindful that she does have lash extensions, so I don't want to use like a liquid or anything super harsh on the top of her eyes because I don't want it to mess up her lash extensions.
You look great on camera.
Ooh.
Oh, everybody. Extensions.
So as you can see, Hafsa was really enjoying the luxe feel, and we actually did her hair as well, so it was a full glam moment. So stay tuned for that video. That'll be the next video up, but as you can see, she enjoyed it. So stay tuned for the hair video, and I will see you next time. This is the final look. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the hair tutorial. Bye!